Hi, it's Fadi from UBTV. This month last year, Rishi Sunak was appointed Prime Minister of the UK after Liz Truss's short term. Today, we're going to be asking the students of the University of Bristol what do they think of Rishi Sunak. What do you lot think of Rishi Sunak?
I think it's a bit sleazy, to be honest. That's my word, sleazy.
I think he's a lying slug and I hate him.
I think he does fuck all for this country.
Thank you guys.
I think he's useless and only cares about himself.
I just don't. I think his priorities for this country are in the complete wrong place. And especially, I just think what he's been saying about the Israeli and Palestine conflicts, I completely disagree with it as well.
So Jack, what do you think of Rishi Sunak?
Well, not a big fan, to be honest. I think he's kind of portrayed as like the sensible centrist kind of candidate, but I think that's really inaccurate when you look at what he's actually been doing, like appointing Suella Braverman and all these people in his cabinet. It's just like very actually right wing.
Sensible centrist. Interesting. Yeah, perhaps he's not
That's
that.
not what I think.
No, but perhaps he's not that. Go on.
No, I think if you look at anything like his 5 pledges, like the one to stop the boats, it's just appealing to the same kind of like UKIP kind of right-wing populism that like Boris Johnson and Liz Truss would.
Yeah.
But he's got that sensible kind of look about him, so he gets off easily, I say.
To be honest, I'd rather not say anything at risk of getting deported.
I strongly disagree with most of the things he says.
I'm not a big fan of him at the moment, to say the least. I think he's sort of focusing on the wrong things entirely of what's wrong in our country, and I don't know, it's sort of quite upsetting to see. So I have a lot of like trans friends, and it's so sad like seeing them being so scared to live in our country and all that sort of stuff. So yeah, it's a pretty sad place to be at the moment.
I think it's a cunt.
Thank you.
I'm not his biggest fan, mainly because I feel like the policies he's focusing on at the moment are just not what we should be thinking about as a country. Like all the stuff about, I don't know, things like stupid things like smoking cigarettes and all these other things, when it should be more about the important things like climate change and the fact that he could be doing so much good, but he's focusing on things which aren't that important.
Thank you.
I think you could be right. You know, he's also said some. Well, there's been some discourse that he's been saying transphobic things. For example, he said a man is a man and a woman is a woman, quote unquote. That's just common sense. What do you think about that?
I don't think it is common sense. I think he's just trying to play to his like ultra right-wing base, to try and like shore up his electoral prospects, really.
Yeah, I think the situation is probably more complicated than that. Anyway, thank you very much, Jack. Cheers.
So I agree with a lot of things he says, absolutely not. I think, you know, especially with the transphobic hate speech that he spewed, I don't agree with that at all, you know. I think, is he a good Prime Minister for this country? Absolutely not. I think there's a lot probably better candidates out there. Obviously, I don't know, I'm not really educated on politics a lot, so I really can't say, like, what makes a good person, but one that, I know, values human rights.
Rishi Sunak, I think he's doing really good work with relation to what is happening in UK right now, and I'm Indian and he's half Indian, so...
I think Rishi Sunak is the nail in the coffin of 12 years of Conservative rule. He is a selfish Prime Minister. He is the richest MP for a reason. He's very clearly producing policies to benefit the wealthiest people in society, and he's using fake narratives about trans people, about people of colour and other identities to drum up a culture war to distract people from the fact that the cost of living crisis is entirely the Conservatives' fault. And yeah, that's what I think of Rishi Sunak.
I think Rishi Sunak is a sordid, baseless individual, and like the common accusation is that he's out of touch, but I think it's deeper than that. I think there's some sort of calculated, real self-interest going on, yeah. So
we
overall,
like
I dislike him.
He's not doing a very good job. Really.
Fair.
Pretty awful, pretty sort of inconsistent.
Thank you guys.
Quite bad things, actually. I don't think he's doing a very good job. I think Everyone seems to think he's doing all right as a Prime Minister, but I think they only think he's doing all right because like our previous Prime Ministers have been awful.
What do you think about the Downing Street COVID parties?
Well, it's just ridicule and obvious ridicule.
What do you mean? Ridicule of who?
Ridicule of the public and those suffering, and towing the line of regulations and rules put in place by them. You know, it's like a complete lack of care and lack of sincerity. Like they feel like they can make these rules and get away with it.
Can you describe Rishi Sunak in 3 words?
I would say a classist, unprofessional prick.
Transphobic, classist, cunt.
Thank you.